Picture this, you join Hypixel, log on to Skyblock, and then your friend asks you to run some dungeons. He needs an archer. You say sure, but remember you need arrows. So you go to the bazaar to buy slime for bouncy arrows, when all of a sudden... What the fuck? So what just happened? A full inventory of slime balls usually costs only around 50k, but this time it was 48 mil. Why? Well, I like to call what just happened the unavoidable scam. I mean, technically it's not a scam, but it feels like one. By the end of the video, you'll have a mod to avoid it, but whatever. So the culprit of this price change was something known as market manipulation. More specifically, bazaar manipulation. If you don't know what market manipulation is, here's a quick snippet of me explaining it from an older video.
The way that the auction method is done is actually quite simple. First, you find an item that has a low and limited supply. This usually consists of pet skins and high-level enchantment books. The reason is due to pet skins having a limited supply produced, and high-level enchantment books being produced quite infrequently in general. Once you found your item, you then buy all of them from the AH. Now that there is none listed on the auction house, you can effectively choose the price of the item. The problem is that most people won't buy an item if it is the only one listed and it's only listed by one player, because it just seems sketchy. Luckily, manipulators found a smart way to get around this. Instead of relisting all of the items as a buy now, instead they only actually list one. After a few minutes, mods such as not enough updates will actually list your artificial price as the lowest bin price when people try to buy the item. Then, all the manipulator needs to do is put the item as an auction for 5 minutes. People will go and try to bid on the item, and they'll see that their mod says the value of the item is your inflated price and take it as fact, therefore causing them to bid crazy amounts, giving the manipulator easy profits and causing the buyer to pay way too much for a pretty cheap item.
This example in particular was about something known as auction manipulation, which is already quite well known, and because of this it's not as effective anymore. But bazaar manipulation on the other hand is still kinda hidden and has recently started ruining Skyblock. I actually covered this topic in an older video from over a year ago, and just as I predicted, it has gotten way worse. Looking on the forums, you can see plenty of people complaining about it and even examples of people losing hundreds of millions of coins in literally a single click. Usually, Hypixel doesn't really care about putting an end to scams because it would be really hard to do so in most cases, or because they can just say, you agreed to the trade, so it's not our problem. But in this case in particular, I think something should be done, but I also think it's a lot more feasible than for other scams. But before I get into that, let's do a quick test run so you get an idea of how it works. Wait, before we get into it, please consider using code MATCH in the Hypixel store for 5% off because it supports me and I don't really have time to upload that much because of school. So if you want to help me in any way, just use my code whenever buying something out from the store. So that's all I wanted to say, so let's get straight into it now. Okay, so I'm going to be giving this manipulation thing a shot. I'm going to be doing it on slime balls because that's like the example I used. And there's actually a pretty good chance for it to work here. So if I go and move on to like a website like Bazaar Meta that actually shows all the stats for everything, you can see I'm on slime ball right now. Over here, we can basically see all the orders there are, or all the sell orders, and then all the buy orders. What we care about right now is all the sell orders. So basically with the sell orders, we can see over here the total amount, and we can see over here the amount it would take for you to basically buy out all of this. So basically what we know is that if we spend about 40.3 million, we should be able to buy out everything. Like there won't be anything left. So the strat for this would be to basically buy out all of the things for 40 million coins and then be able to set the price to whatever we want, and then hope some kid isn't paying attention, buys slime balls, and then they just accidentally buy it for like 50 mil. Okay, so what you want to do is you look at the sell offer, right? So this is where you're going to buy it from. Obviously buy order is way less than sell offer because no one wants to buy it for this price. So what you do to buy it for this price, instead of just insta buying, because then that's basically limited to your inventory. So you have to fill your inventory, put it somewhere, fill your inventory, put it somewhere, and keep doing that. With this amount of items, that's not gonna happen. Like, it's gonna take way too long. So what we can do is, we see over here that this is about 32,000 for 26 coins. So we can take that number, 32214. Then we can make a buy order for that. So 32214. And then it was 26 coins. So we just make the price 26. And when we set this offer, which I'm just going to do now so we can get started, you'll see that it instantly fills up. You'll see that I already have like basically everything filled up. That's because it takes all the stuff from that buy order and fills my thing up. So you can see now we're already at 26.3. So we just do it again. Okay, so I finished selling everything, or at least most of it. And you can see I have 51 mil right now. That's because I wasn't actually able to sell everything for the inflated price. But I was able to sell like around 500, 600k worth of items. Or not worth of items, like 600k items. So basically all of this is basically just our profit. So if we claim all of this, we get, boom, we get about 71.3 mil. And we started with like 68.5-ish. So basically we made around 3 mil. So obviously it's not that much. And this was like a way lower scale of like a good manipulation. But I didn't really want to like fully like scam someone and make, oh well, not scam, but like make them pay like a crazy amount. Plus I didn't have the money for that because I would need way more to buy everything out. But you can kind of get an idea of how it would work on like a much bigger scale, because if you had enough money to buy out the entire market, you could have, instead of made it like, how much? I made it like 5 coins more expensive, maybe a bit more, maybe like 7 coins more expensive. You would be able to make it upwards of like 3 times or 4 times more expensive and made way more money. And also like kind of scam people because they'd be paying so much extra. Okay, so now that we know how it works, what can be done? Well, there's 3 things in my opinion. First is that us as players just have to be extremely wary about what we're insta buying. Second thing we can try is developing a mod to stop you from accidentally overpaying. Lucky for you, I did this, so stick around till the end of the video to see how to download it yourself and how it works. But moving on to the third and most effective strategy would be Hypixel implementing some sort of protection. If you didn't know, market manipulation in the real life is actually illegal because of how effective it is. I think similarly, Hypixel should try adding their own protections too. This forum post by Unsec actually has some very good suggestions on how to fix it, such as adding some type of volume limit so players can't just buy and sell infinite amounts of items, adding some type of dynamic price caps so that people can't rapidly manipulate prices, limiting amount of total orders players can have, and many more. But of course, since it was posted on the forums, it was met with backlash. Most of it stems from the thinking that anybody who's fallen into manipulation is at fault because they either kept too much money on them or that they should have paid more attention to the price. In my opinion, this is such a stupid argument because it hyper simplifies market manipulation. There are market manipulations happening that players have no idea are even occurring. As players become more experienced and rich players get even richer, it gets easier for people to manipulate prices and for longer. Before, most manipulations only lasted for maybe a few minutes and people would cash out really quick. But now, there are groups of players setting up organized manipulations lasting from 30 minutes to over a couple of hours. One of them you might not know about is the Stonk of Stonks. I won't go much into it because I want to cover it in its own video, but that item was manipulated so hard, there are players who have made billions off of it, and if the right people team up, it will only get way worse. Anyways, I'll wrap this section up here because people have debating the market manipulation things since 15 years ago on games like RuneScape. So argue in the comment section about what you think is the best. But anyways, right now, let's go and see how this mod that I made works. Okay, so I'm logged into Hypixel, so let me show you how the mod works. It's quite simple. All you have to do is hit right alt on your keyboard and it will open up this menu. So right now it shows you the ratio and the ability to save it, but first let's just turn off the mod to show the functionality. So if I turn it off, nothing's going to happen, and a good way to display how it works is with carrot bait. So if you go here and we look at carrot bait, we can see that the buy order price is 75 coins, while the sell offer price is like 500 coins, which is crazy high. So a good way to show what this means is basically if I buy a stack of this, it's 35k. And if I were to go and try to insta sell this, it's 4.7k. That's not normal. It should be at least maybe 30k. It should not be this crazy less. And that's usually a sign of something's being manipulated. That's where the mod comes in. So all you do is you go here and you set a ratio. So let's say you want a ratio of about 5.0. This basically means that if the price that I'm buying it for is 5 times more than its usual sell price, don't let me buy it. So if I save that ratio and then I open it and make sure the mod is on, when I go to the bazaar here and I go to an item like, let's say, carrot bait, when I go to buy it, it's going to kick me out. And after it kicks me out, it gives me all this data saying the item is carrot bait, the price is 527, and the normal sell price is about 97.2. And if you guys want to use this mod, just go down into the description and there should be a GitHub link with the mod and all the source code. So if anyone wants to check for like rats or anything, you should be able to easily because I posted all the source code there. And you can also give me suggestions on like features or just like bugs, because I definitely know there are some bugs. Yeah, that's basically it though. So thank you guys for watching and hopefully you guys don't get scammed, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.